1.1 An email home. We're finally on Galapagos.
Hi, Mum. Hi, Dad. Thanks for yours. Always love news from home. So, at last, the Galapagos Islands. A dream come true. We've been travelling for 2 months now. Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru. It's been amazing. Can't believe I've seen Machu Picchu and camped in the mountains of Torres del Paine. Ma, you'd go mad for the views. But the Galapagos are a different planet. We flew to Santa Cruz last Friday. It's one of the biggest islands. And get this. This morning, we snorkeled with sea turtles. Probably the best experience of my life. Kiri and I actually swam alongside them. Also saw sea lions and their pups relaxing on the rocks. So cute. Oh, and some sharks. Don't freak, Mum. They were just babies. Tomorrow we're taking the ferry to San Cristobal. Time to start work. Kiri's worried because she always gets seasick and it'll be a hot, cramped ride. Our work at the volunteer centre is just for 1 week. It's going to be mainly farm work. After that, it's on to Isabella Island. It's wildlife heaven. Penguins, flamingos, pelicans, and, coolest of all, the mega famous giant tortoises. Can't wait to see them. Missing you loads, but I'll be sad to leave this paradise. Definitely going to come back one day. Love and hugs, Nancy. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Kiri sends love too.
1.2 Nancy and Kiri's amazing trip. 1.
How long have they been travelling round South America?
For 2 months.
2.
Which countries have they visited so far?
They've already been to Chile, Argentina, Bolivia and Peru.
3.
When did they arrive in Santa Cruz?
Last Friday.
4.
What did they do that morning?
They snorkeled with sea turtles and swam alongside them.
5.
What were the sea lions doing?
They were relaxing on the rocks.
6.
Why are they going to San Cristobal tomorrow?
Because they're going to work there at a volunteer centre.
7.
Why is Kiri not looking forward to the journey?
Because they're going by ferry and she gets seasick.
8.
What do they particularly want to see on Isabella Island?
The giant tortoises.
1.3 Tyler in London. 1.
Where is Tyler spending the year?
In London.
2.
Is this his first trip abroad?
No, it isn't. He's been abroad once before. Last year he went to Mexico.
3.
Where does Dave live?
In North London.
4.
How long is Tyler going to stay with Dave?
A few days.
5.
Why did the guy say cheers to Tyler?
Because he had let him pass.
6.
What does he think of his host family?
He thinks they're very nice.
7.
What are they going to do on Sunday?
They're going to Stratford-on-Avon, Shakespeare's birthplace.
1.4 Identifying tenses. 1.
I've heard that Hannah's been seeing a lot of Patrick recently.
You're kidding. I thought he was going out with Sally.
You know Patrick. I wouldn't trust him, would you? Poor Sally.
2.
Are you being served, sir?
Just looking, thank you.
Well, if you need any help, just call.
3.
I'll be seeing Bill this afternoon. I'll tell him the good news then.
Actually, I'd rather you didn't say anything to him yet. It's not absolutely certain he'll get the job.
4.
Do you have any idea which address it was sent to?
Well, she said she'd sent it to my address, but it never arrived.
But you've only just moved. Maybe she doesn't have your new address.
5.
I hadn't seen her since she was a little girl, and she changed beyond all recognition.
Well, 20 years is a long time. It's about 20 years since the family emigrated to Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, and she was only 5 then.
6.
Nobody will believe him. He's the kind of guy who isn't believed by anyone.
Yeah, he always talks big.
I know. I bet he isn't really going to play for Manchester United.
7.
I haven't been told yet if I've got it. I'll be told in writing sometime next week.
Well, good luck. I think you're perfect for the job.
You're my mum. Of course you think that.
8.
Apparently he was overtaking on a bend at 70 miles per hour when they caught him.
Yeah, I heard that. He was caught by a speed camera.
He'll probably lose his licence.
1.5. Talking about you. 1.
At weekends, I often don't bother getting up till lunchtime.
Absolutely. Why bother if you don't have to?
2.
My parents have never had a crossword all their married lives.
Really? Mine are at it all the time.
3.
I don't think I'll ever master this new phone.
Come on, you'll get used to it. I use mine to pay for everything now.
4.
I was saying to a friend just the other day that I hadn't seen you for ages.
I know. How long has it been?
5.
I hate Mondays because nothing ever goes right on a Monday.
Only Mondays, eh? Aren't you the lucky one?
6.
I just arrived home last night when I realised I left my laptop on the bus.
Well, you won't see that again.
7.
I was just getting ready to go out when my grandma rang for a chat.
I know, and you feel really bad if you say it's a bad time.
8.
I've been told that our teacher wears purple pyjamas in bed.
Who on earth told you that?
9.
In my very first English lesson, I was taught to introduce myself and say hello.
Well, in my first French lesson, I was taught to say the cat runs after the mouse and other such stuff. Useful, huh?
10.
The reason I'm learning English is because it's spoken all over the world.
True, but isn't Chinese spoken by more people?
1.6. Missing words out. 1.
Heard about Jane and John.
Huh? Thought not.
What's happened? I always thought they got on really well.
Apparently not. John's been seeing his ex-girlfriend.
2.
Leaving already? What's wrong?
I just have a headache, that's all.
3.
Failed again? How many times is that?
Okay, there's no need to rub it in. They say the best drivers fail 3 times.
4.
Sorry I'm late. Been waiting long?
No, I've just arrived myself. Got caught in traffic.
5.
Doing anything interesting this weekend?
If you call housework interesting, I've just got to tidy my flat this weekend.
6.
Like the car. When did you get it?
We've had it a while, actually. Second hand, you know.
7.
Bye, Joe. See you later.
Yeah, I'll be round about 8.
8.
Just coming. Hang on.
Get a move on or we'll go without you.
9.
Want a lift? Hop in.
Great. Can you drop me in the centre?
10.
Seen Jim lately?
No, I haven't. I wonder what he's up to at the moment.
1.7. A short conversation.
Morning.
Morning. Lovely day, isn't it? On your way to the park?
Unfortunately not. Just off to work.
Working on a Saturday? Shame.
I know. Can't be helped.
One 1.8. The Lost Boy.
It was late at night. We got off the train, and I was so tired that I just sat down at the train station and I ended up falling asleep. It was a very scary place to be. I do not think any mother or father would like to have their 5-year-old wandering alone in the slums and train stations of Calcutta. I was scared. I didn't know where I was. I accepted that I was lost and that I could not find my way back home, so I thought it was great that I was going to Australia. I multiplied the time I was on the train, about 14 hours, with the speed of Indian trains, and I came up with a rough distance, about 1,200 kilometres. When I found it, I zoomed down and bang, the waterfall where I used to play. The last time I saw her, she was 34 years old and a pretty lady. I had forgotten that age would get the better of her. But then I recognised her and I said, "Yes, you are my mother." She grabbed my hand and took me into her house. She could not say anything to me. She had a bit of trouble grasping that her son, after 25 years, had returned. She had long feared I was dead. A month after I had disappeared, my brother was found in 2 pieces on a railway track. We were extremely close. When I left my mother to return to Tasmania, I was heartbroken, knowing that my older brother had passed away.
One 1.9. Things I miss from home. Brenda.
There's only one thing I really miss about where I come from, and that's the sea. I'm originally from Yorkshire, and although I came to live here in Germany, 30 years ago, I still miss the northeast coast of England. There's just something about the sea. Where I live now, there's a river, and there are some nice walks along the banks. It's lovely, but it's not the same. The thing about the sea is that it changes all the time. Not just every day, but every time of day. In my hometown, when the tide comes in, the water comes right up to the road, and then, when it goes out, there's just miles and miles of sand. It can take an age to walk to the sea. It's a source of amazement to me every time I see it.
Shona.
The thing I miss about Scotland is probably the weather, believe it or not. Up there, the air is quite crisp and clear, and the temperature is cooler. I find here in Madrid, it can be very hot and very humid in summer, and a little bit sticky as well. And then it can be really very cold in winter. I was surprised at how cold. Back home, they think it's always lovely and warm in Spain.
Martin.
All right, well, I've been living in France for the last 25 years, and I suppose the things I miss most about Britain is, well, first of all, the obvious things, like every Brit living abroad. I miss some typical English foods. For me, that means curry, wine gums, digestive biscuits, brown sauce, porridge, and, of course, good old warm English beer. What else do I miss? Socially, a lot. I miss meeting friends in pubs. I miss the chats, the banter, just the way that people talk to each other. I miss that sparky British humour on a day-to-day basis. On perhaps a more serious note, I miss having a vote. In Britain, you lose your vote once you've been out of the country for more than 15 years. And I didn't even get a vote in the referendum. And because I haven't taken French nationality, I don't have a national vote here. So I don't get to vote anywhere these days. I guess that's one of the things I miss most.
Oliver.
So, things that I miss about the UK. The first would be bread. The bread here in the States seems to stay too fresh for a long time, and it doesn't actually make particularly good toast. And being British, toast is an important thing. And then, of course, there's work. I found working in the US surprisingly different from the UK. In the US, it's very important to be very upbeat and positive about what you can do, which, is true to a certain extent in the UK. But I think in the UK, it's kind of, okay, be good at what you do, but just get on with it. Over here, you're kind of expected to be a salesman, like you should be selling yourself and your abilities. I guess in a way, the Brits are just a bit more modest at work. And I kind of like that modesty. I'm not particularly good at selling myself. I just like to get on with my job. And I don't feel the need to tell everyone how good I am. But that's kind of the way of things over here.
Artem and Dasha.
One thing I miss is the food. All the seasonal products and the enjoyment of going to the farmer's market to buy goat's cheese from a lady that your grandma has known since you were little.
That's right. Apricots, melons, tomatoes just don't taste right in this country.
Yeah, and it seems that the most tasteless fruit here is a watermelon. I keep buying them, but every single one is a disappointment. I'll always miss the watermelons we used to get from the south of Ukraine.
That's true. But it's not the food I missed most. It's the language. My language. There is nothing quite like walking along the street and feeling like you are part of something bigger than yourself. Hearing your own language. I always feel a bit insecure when it's not my language. I think I'm missing something. It's hard to explain.
I know what you mean. Another thing I find hard is being away from home on our national holidays. We make much more of things like that in Ukraine. You just don't get the same feeling here of people coming together to celebrate in the streets.
Yes, it's not the same.
Carter.
I live with my dad on the East Coast, but I visit my mom in Florida lots of times a year. And the one thing I miss is my drums. I'm in a rock band, but I can't travel with my kit, so I have to leave it at home. It's like torture. I can't wait to get home to Dad's, sit at my drums, and get playing again. My mom says I miss them more than I miss her.
1.10 Compound Nouns with house and home. 1.
Do you think you could possibly water my house plants for me? I'm away on business for 2 weeks.
No problem. I'd be glad to. I'll keep an eye on your whole flat if you like.
Oh, that would be great.
Don't worry. I know how house-proud you are. I'll make sure everything stays clean and tidy.
I'll do the same for you any time, you know.
Oh, thanks.
2.
Julie, have you heard? Anna's just been made managing director of the UK branch of her firm, so she's coming back from the States.
Oh, that's great news. Let's give her a spectacular homecoming party when she gets back from New York. She's certainly the career girl of the family.
Doing really well, isn't she?
I know, and I'm happy for her. Me, I'm just a housewife. 4 kids, homemade cakes and homegrown vegetables.
And how are my wonderful grandchildren?
3.
We're having a housewarming party on the 12th. Can you come?
Yeah, you bet. Oh, we'd love to. But I didn't know you'd moved.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. It's much bigger than the old one. Huge kitchen and 3 big bedrooms.
Sounds great.
Yeah, mind you, there's much more housework to do.
That's a drag.
4.
Mum, I want to come home. I don't like it here.
Oh, Max, come on now. You were so looking forward to going to Scout camp.
But, Mum, I hate it here. Why won't you and Dad come and get me?
Max, we can't. I never thought you'd be so homesick. And you'll be home in 2 days.
2 more days? Oh, no!
5.
Hey, you going to Carly's on Saturday?
I dunno.
It's a free house. It'll be great.
Cool. Where are her parents then?
Carly says they're visiting her grandma. She's sick and housebound, so they have to go and help.
OK, count me in. I'll be there.
1.11 Casual Conversations. 1.
Great to see you. Come on in.
I was just passing and I thought I'd drop in.
2.
Excuse me, don't I know you from somewhere?
No, I don't think so.
3.
What do you mean you're not coming?
Well, I just don't feel up to going out tonight.
4.
I think I'll have the chocolate mousse. What about you?
Let me see. No. Actually, I don't think I'll bother with dessert.
5.
My flatmate can't make your party.
Really? Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping to meet her.
6.
How come you're not having a holiday this year?
We just can't afford it.
7.
You really should take it easy. You look stressed out.
That's as maybe, but we have a lot on at work at the moment.
8.
I've got you the last 2 tickets for the show.
Great stuff. I knew you'd swing it for us.
1.12 Excuse me, is this yours?
Excuse me, is this yours?
Oh, let me see. Yes, it is. Thank you. I must have dropped it.
Are you going far?
Yeah, all the way to London. What about you?
I'm getting off at Bristol.
Oh, do you live there?
Actually, no. I work in Bristol, but I live in Bath.
Lucky you. I think Bath's a beautiful city.
Yeah, you and thousands of others.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, the tourists. There are so many all year round.
Ah, yes, that's a drag. You don't like tourists, then?
Well, I shouldn't really complain.
How come? You can complain if you want.
I can't. Not really. You see, I'm a travel agent, so I make a living from tourists.
1.13 I was just passing. 1.
Tony! Hi! Hey, great to see you.
Well, I was just passing and I thought I'd drop in and say hello.
Oh, come on in. Have a drink.
You sure you're not too busy?
Never too busy to talk to you.
Thanks, Joe. It'd be really nice to have a chat.
Great. Oh, let me take your coat.
2.
Excuse me, don't I know you from somewhere?
No, I don't think so.
Weren't you at Gavin's party last week?
Not me. I don't know anyone called Gavin.
Well, someone who looked just like you was there.
Well, that's as may be, but it certainly wasn't me.
I am sorry.